How you doing, guys? I think we've all known people at one time or another that got themselves into some bad situations, if not flat out a very abusive relationship. How many times have you had friends that you may have not heard from for a few weeks, and you really didn't think anything of it, then they pop up? And this actually has happened. I've known this several times. Girl would pop up out of nowhere, tell you what a great guy she met. Now she'll go on and on and on what a wonderful person this is, but you take it for what it is because you don't know the person. Then you may get together, and you'll notice right out of the get-go, he's hovering over like a hawk. And pretty much she'll be telling you all these wonderful things about the person, but now you're actually meeting him. And although he may seem like a great guy, in your gut, it tells you there's something not quite right with this. Every time she speaks to somebody that she had spoken to in the past, one of her friends, he may lean over and start whispering something. You notice the smile briefly go off her face. Then the smile comes back, but it's not the smile she used to have. It's more of a pasted smile. And how many times have I seen that the person like this will start making comments and jokes at this other person's expense? Well, everybody laughs along because they come across like a joke, but you realize it's not a joke. And deep down, what they're doing is taking apart this person's self-esteem. Now, basically what this person is doing at this gathering, when you all get together, is discrediting all of their former friends, everybody that they used to speak to. They get home, all the friends are at home, and he may tell her, no, they don't love you like I do. They don't know you nearly as well as I do. If you fall, they're not going to be there for you. I'm the only one who's going to be there for that. They start believing it, and you may not see this person for a while. Little by little, he dominates over her entire existence. What may have one time been a self-confident person now has no self-confidence at all. You run into the person and you start asking about them. And they say, oh, no, he's really a nice guy. You just don't know him as well as I do. You try to give them a heads up, but they really don't want to talk, so you don't dig too much. You just leave it for what it is. If you ever need somebody to talk to, just give me a holler. Well, they smile and they nod. They may not. Deep down inside, they may know they're in an abusive relationship. And I'm not talking physical, because verbal can be just as destructive. They may consider leaving the person, but in the back of their mind, they stop believing, is what he says true? They start doubting that they can make it on their own merit, that they need this person. The happiness in their life gets smaller and smaller and smaller. This person now dominates everything about their existence. He may show up at her workplace. He may show up wherever she is at. But little by little, all of her friends are squeezed out of her life. Deep down, she knows she's got to get out, but she keeps holding off, thinking, yeah, things are going to get better, which, again, they never do. Well, he may suspect that she wants out and say to her, if you leave me, you're never going to find anybody like me. And deep down inside, without considering, if they are leaving you, why would they want to find somebody like you? They seem to forget that. And they always in the back of their mind, nobody's going to love you like I do. And they're convinced that nobody else in the world will have them. What at one time was confidence is now on the ground. Well, they may leave. But the thing is, they're not realizing that they've already been set up for failure. What happens is, the first time they fall on their face, what do? They go running back. You are right, I can make it on my own. Things may be better for a short period, but the abuse not only continues, in most cases it gets worse. Every time they go back, it gets worse. Nothing ever changes. I've noticed this with Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's very, very true. Now, watchtower, let me point out one thing. Watchtower is most effective when things are going bad. When things are going good, they have nothing to work on. And I'm talking about the current situation, which we've all been facing. And it's obvious, of course, Watchtower is going to capitalize on it to get everybody to come back. All the fear that they've drilled into Jehovah's Witnesses and former members, they say, see, things are starting to happen. You need to come back to the hall. The thing is, what most people aren't realizing, it didn't have to be this situation. It could have been an earthquake. It could have been a war. It could have been any bad news whatsoever. Watchtower would have capitalized on it. They've done so much gaslighting over the years that everybody that leaves Watchtower, in the back of their mind, every so often, we've all said it, what if Watchtower was right? See, as time goes on, the bad things that happen in the organization may seem like a distant memory. And in some cases, you forget. So when things on the outside get harsh, what happens? People go running back. But always keep in the front of your mind why you left to begin with. The kingdom halls are no safer than anywhere else. The things we're going through now, well, in all honesty, things are going to get rough, but it's not going to succeed. And your safety does not require that you be at the Kingdom Hall, because the Kingdom Hall is no safer than anywhere else. But like I said, they capitalize on any disaster, any war, any pandemic just to keep you in fear. And they've drilled this inside of you. How many of you started studying with Jehovah's Witnesses? And your friend says, you might want to get away from those people, but you thought you knew better because you were inside. This is where I was at one time. I had a lot of people while I was studying telling me, get away from these people. You don't know anything about them. And in a lot of ways they were right, but I was on the inside. I thought I knew better. Well, now I do. That's why I left. And we've all faced that. We've all had people tell us, you might want to get away from them. They're a cult. And they are. Any organization or any person that's got to capitalize on any negativity that's going on, whether it be worldwide, in your life, anywhere, isn't worth getting involved with. You may want to just back away. And Watchtower isn't effective unless there's something bad going on, much like any cult. Just keep in mind, while the sheep are all wary of that wolf that may attack, it's always the shepherd that leads them to the slaughterhouse. But just keep that in mind, guys, and I will talk to you soon. You have a good day.